REST framework. What is the Django? REST framework. So to do this Django REST framework, what is the prerequisite? Compulsory Python knowledge is required and Django is required. Without Django and Python, అది బంద్ చేయ లైట్ ఇక్కడ yes yes so to do this Django, every language corresponding APIs are there. I will explain what it is. You will get clarity. Okay, na? So Python Django is the commonly prerequisite. Sir, so what is this Django REST framework? First of all, so many people, they don't know about this REST API concept. Only everybody knows about Python Django, Python Django, Python Django only. So people don't know about this technology. And someone, if you can ask anybody to REST API, everyone telling about it is very difficult, complicated technology, not required for you, like that they are telling. In Amirpet, no one is teaching this REST API. Only they are taking Django only. That too, at that Django, they didn't cover all the UI technologies. Like whatever I explained now, UI, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, jQuery, DOM, there no one is covering. Only they have to cover only Django classes only. Sir, now, if you go to any web application, it is mandatory technology, not only Django application. Any application APIs are common. Sir, without REST API, why it is required? Sir, without REST API, you can develop any Django application. Django application without REST API. You can think a person will be there. A man is there without hands and legs. Hands and legs, you are doing more efficient. Suppose you don't have right hand, only left hand is there. Some problem will be there. No two hands, then problem. No two legs, then. So same like only Django application without REST API means assume a man without hands and legs, how he is living difficulty. Same thing only Django situation also. The compulsory REST API full added advantage. So REST API is a difficult technology or easy technology? Everyone telling it's very difficult, complicated. No, it is very, very easy technology. I will simplify this one. Because already you know Django, every application you completed, same procedure also, but some different style of programming is there. How to create our APIs, it's very, very simple. But it is very, Django taken 2 months, 2.5, 3 months like that. It is not that much, a simple small course only. Because we are not developing any application. Already application is there. For that application, how we can use the services, that is only we are providing. So you don't need to develop functionalities, pages, CSS styles, all are not required. Application will be there. How to access that services? So generally, everyone having doubt about these terminologies. Any Django classes, everyone they are asking, sir, what is API? what is web API or what is a web services. Web API, web services, both are same. What is REST? What is REST API? Sorry, REST API. What is Django or REST? Once you get these terminologies, then course is very simple. Everyone having doubt this one only. What is API? What is REST API? What is REST? What is web API? What is Django REST framework? All are same or different? Once you get clarity about these 5 terms, then our course is very simple only. Everyone outstanding same question. Sir, what is API? What is REST API? What is web API? First of all, what is API? Maximum you know this definition, full form. What is the full form of API? Everybody knows about that. Application Programming Interface. Sir, what it is application? The main objective of API is, if there are 2 applications are there, I want to provide communication between those 2, then API is required. Suppose if I'm teaching something, you are listening, one common language required. What it is? English. If I'm taking class in Telugu, can you understand Telugu? No. So for all the people, one common language required. The interface between you and me is language. That language is English language. So that is one interface between you and me. Same if two applications I want to communicate, one API must and should require. That API is nothing but application programming interface. For example, so there is a mobile phone is there. Mobile is there. Samsung phone. Assume this one. Sir, I want to, phone means there are so many functionalities are there. So many functionalities are there. I want to make a phone to my girlfriend. I want to make call to my girlfriend. What is required? Keypad is required, not required. So phone, so many functionalities are there. I can type the key 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and green button. So Mari, what is this one? What is this keypad and all these things? Phone contains so many functionalities. I want to access that functionality. One API is required. That API is nothing but keyboard. If there is no keyboard, mobile is there. How to operate it? No use. Phone excellent. This key panel is there. Na? That key panel I removed. I am given the phone. Use it. How can I use the functionalities? No chance. So that keypad is nothing but one API. I am the end user. Phone functional I can use. So one API required. That keyboard is nothing but one API. For example, I want to go to the check it now. This is the ATM GUI interface is there. Sir, ATM contains so many functionalities. Withdraw functionalities, cash deposit, mini statement, transfer, everything. But how can I access that application functionalities? One interface is required, not required. I am clicking on deposit button, clicking on balance or other service, payment, something. So I want to access application functionalities. Screen stuck. 1 minute. Oh. So now check it. ATM screen. Sir, previously I'm telling Samsung keyboard, Google, Samsung. This is just explained just now. Whenever I want to make a call, I want to use the functionalities. This keyboard is required. This keyboard is nothing but one API. Because I want to access some application functionality, something is required. That is the one example I'm given just now. Now, second example I'm taken as a ATM GUI screen. At that time, yes, I want to do some operation, withdraw, deposit. So backend some functionalities are there. I want to access that functionalities. One user interface they can provide. That interface is nothing but our API. So API is simple thing. Two applications are there. Whatever two applications, any application it is a maybe web application, standalone application, GUI, anything. Two application I want to provide communication, must and should one API is required. That API is nothing but application programming interfaces. So API full form is application programming interface. The main objective of API is two applications can be communicated with each other. So two applications can be communicated with each other. Then I need to go to the which one? API, the first terminology. That API allows external agent to communicate with our application. So how I'm telling just now, yes. So how I'm telling just now, two examples. One is ATM GUI screen. One is Samsung keyboard to access the functionalities. These both are nothing but API. In simple way, what we are telling is the methods of communication between software components. That is nothing but API. So best examples, Samsung keypad and ATM GUI screen. Sir, what is the meaning of full form GUI? Graphical user interface. So that is one interface between me and that ATM. That is called as API, application programming interface. Simple, sir. You are a web developer. You implemented one web application by using Django. Your application is ready. Jobs portals, news portal, every application you completed. You are a Django app developer. Django app developer. So up to now, you know only what technology you know. There is one end user is there. End user will send request HTTP 127.80. You are sending request. You are giving the response. Up to this, you know only. But now one third person came. He is using Java application. But my HTTP response, Django not able to give response to the Java application. For example, the third party using as a some mobile application. Mobile app is there. Now Django not able to give response. Mari one common interface required to provide communication between these two. Now what is required? API is required. That's why these are called as API developers. Because that task already we completed. You are professional in this area. Because you are given HTTP request, maheshjobs.com, Mahesh news portal, CBB, so many completed. That past part we completed. These two we don't know. Suppose your Hyderabad jobs are there. If I'm given URL, it will be open. I don't want to give URL. I want to access Python application, pytest.py. Then I want to get all the services. How can I get it? Test.py is a Python file. I'm writing something code. From command prompt, I want to run this one, Python file. But how I'm getting HTTP response? These things we don't know. This is the new for us. This already you know. You implemented so many programs. 34 projects you completed nearly. Yes. So now next task is our task. This is the main concept and how to implement API between Java application, Android, those things, sir. So that is the reason API is required. By using API only, a Java application can communicate with Python application. Not only Java, Python, any application to application interface API is there. Who is this? Sai Baba? Didn't came, Interface of communication between the user and application is nothing but API. The interface between the user can be human or an Android or any desktop application also. So user to application communication we know already. Now the thing is, if other person using any desktop application or Java application or Python or iOS, then one interface is required. That interface is nothing but API. So in 5 technologies, first one API. What is API? It is providing communication between the two applications. The applications may be anything. That is the first technology, API. What is the second technology? Web API or web services. In Java, generally we are heard about this web services like that. Spring Boot, microservices, web service all are available there. Now, what is web API? The services which can provided by end user and a web application. Up to now, whatever we did now, that is called as web. Web means the Adioka technology. Those also called as APIs only, web APIs, web API. Web API common for Java, Python, any technology. If it is a web application or not. For that web application, if I provided API calls, that is called as web API. Web application can be implemented by Java. I can use .NET. I can use Python. Backend I'm using Django. Any application. But if it is a web application, if you created API, that is called as web API or web services. The interface of communication between the user and one application over the web. It is not a desktop. Compulsory it should be a web application. By using a common language. What is the language here? HTTP is nothing but web API. Adi. Sir, what is API and web API? API is any application where providing communication. Web API is nothing but by using one common language HTTP, user to web application provide communication, that is called as web API. For example, I have Java application is there. One web application is there. So this web application, any maybe it is Django, .NET, Python, Angular, React. Web application technology I'm not talking, but by using Java application, I want to access this one, providing communication. Then one interface is required. That interface is nothing but what it is? Web API. So this side, left side, maybe Java or maybe Python, anything. Java program means .java we are saving and running. Python means .p we are saving and running. So any application I can communicate with one web application. One interface is required. That interface is nothing but web API. Simple. You are going to book the tickets, book my show. Yes, sir, no. Book my show, booking the ticket. You are selected 2 seats, 300 rupees, something. You want to try to make the payment. You will get one message. don't refresh, don't go back. It is connecting to payment gateway. But BookMy is one different server. Payment gateway is the one service provider. But how communicating these two? One web API is required. Yes, sir. No. Yes, that is the service provider. He is the service user. He can take the services from those. Then web API is required. That is one more example for web API. BookMyShow application can communicate with which one? Payment gateway. Payment gateway application. Anything. Any application. Once we can pay the money, compulsory it should be asking payment gateway. Payment gateway application. To complete our booking. So then web API is required. For example, just now you are telling Redbus. For example, check it. I opened to book the ticket Redbus. This is one application, web application. But here if I want to log in or sign in, it is asking something. What it is? Google or Facebook. So here it is one application Redbus. Maybe I can use Redbus in mobile or maybe system or maybe Android, anywhere. But I want to communicate with which one? Google or Facebook. But Google, Facebook is a web application. Redbus.com is one application. How it is contacting? By using web API. So an interface between end user and that one, that is also called as a web API. Authentication with Facebook, Google, all these are called as one API service is required. That API is nothing but, sir, web API. Authentication and as you are valid, invalid. Authorization, once you are valid, you are right person or not to do the services. Sir, like that, now end user is there. So you are developing completed Hyderabad Jobs.com something D Django application you are implemented. Up to now, your application can be used by only end user only because you are given urls.py. By using urls.py, he will give request and he will get the response. These things you completed already. Once you give an application, pythonanywhere.com you imported, I'm given URL, I'm getting services, but that is not my requirement. My requirement is tomorrow I want to use with Python application, or I can use Java application, or I can use mobile application. Then your Django is not given response. No chance. Then if I want to communicate any one of these, now again what is required? Web API is required. Or it is also called as a web service. Java people, they are calling web services, microservices, those names. We are calling as a web API. Both are same. So to communicate, sir, compulsory web application, any other application, web API is the required. So that is first two terminologies, API and web API or web service. What is the rest? Anyone having idea? And the rest means representational system, representational state transfer. That is the full form of the rest, sir. Relax sleeping anta. Very good. Next level, that is only after completion of this course, take rest, everyone. Mirigi chepparu, what is the rest and what he is telling? Relax is sleeping. Representational state transfer. That is the meaning of rest. As what it is? Rest is an architectural style. And they will use some guidelines. They define several rules how to declare APIs. They are given some rules to define architectural style. It is not an API. The API which can be implemented by using this architecture, that API is called as a REST API. What is the REST? REST is nothing but a design pattern. What is design pattern? One architecture. Based on the design pattern, you have to implement some APIs. That APIs are nothing but REST API, RESTful APIs. REST means it is not any API. It is one design pattern. It given some rules. Based on that rules, if I am following, I am created some APIs. For example, check it. It is an architectural style, means it defines several rules or guidelines they can provided to develop web APIs or web services. Ante REST is any API? No. Just like one design pattern. And I will give some guidelines. Babu, you can follow these guidelines, then your API is ready. Like that, they can provide it. Whenever I'm using REST design pattern, if we can develop web APIs, very easily in concise code. So that is the reason, sir. First starting classes, first to 5 to 10 class, what I'm telling now, without REST asalo, I'm not touching about REST. I can take Django application and I can create normal API without REST. Only APIs. After that, by using REST, I can create APIs. Then you will get much clarity. What is without REST, with REST? Generally, everyone directly telling install a REST framework software and creating APIs. Then when you get clarity, first minimum 5 to 10 class, if I'm telling, as I'm not talking about REST, I can take one Django application, I can take one API call, how to take it. Then I can introduce with the REST. Then that API will become a REST API. So by using REST API, very easy. Without REST, my own APIs. Tomorrow, if anybody asking, do you know how to implement your own APIs? Yes, sir, I'm in a position to write my own API without REST. REST and predefined design pattern. I'm following their rules, their condition. But my own API means my wish. I'm not following any rules. My own API can be created. So first 10 classes, I will tell without REST framework, how to create our own APIs. Then it is added advantage for you, an entry point of view everywhere. REST means already available, that I am using only, simple. CBV, FBV is there. FBV means my own, you can do anything. CBV means existing, you can use only. Same like that here also, sir. Small code, less number of lines of the concise ante. If you suppose Java code, any number of lines are there. Every time I'm using, by using Python, we can write concise code. Example, a normal program is there without lambda expression, more number of lines. With lambda expression, less number, that is called as concise, less number of lines of code. So REST is the most popular architecture to develop web services. So that is nothing but REST. And what is the next term? Same work in less code. Yes, yes. What is the next word? Fourth word. What is REST API? The API which is developed by using REST rules. That is called as REST API. Previously starting, I'm telling API. That is my own API. My wish. I'm not following any rules. Next web. To interact with web application, I'm implementing API. That is web API. REST is a not API. One type of the design pattern, architectural style. Some rules they can define. Fourth word, REST API. The API which is developed by using REST architecture is nothing but what it is, REST API, or else some guys are calling what it is, RESTful API. Both are same. REST API anna RESTful API anna both are same only. That is, it is one interface between user and one application. Where API implements REST architecture. That is called as REST API. Getting clarity, REST key, REST API difference. REST is a design pattern, API is a service call. REST is basically an architecture, whereas a REST API is an API, application programming interface, that implements what implements? REST can be implemented. So that's why most of the people having doubts and about these all terminologies. Sir, what is API? Every time Amit is asking, sir, what is API? What is REST API? What is web API? What is REST? Based on this, you can tell what is Django REST framework. By using REST, I can implement API calls for my Django application. That is called as Django REST framework. So REST is one architecture. By using that architecture, I am preparing APIs. Which purpose? To accessing your Django applications. That is nothing but Django REST framework. Last word. Django REST framework is a one of the design pattern, architectural style. It is also purely to develop API calls for Django applications. Flexible for to build web APIs. Most commonly used framework for Python and Django. Internally uses all Django facilities. Like in Django, we know these terms: models ani, views ani, templates ani, and ORM. All these are can be accessed in this REST framework. Everything, whatever we are working there, same. In there are some CRUD operations are there. C and take create, R means retrieve reading purpose, U update to D delete, like that. Every CRUD operation, a separate command is there into our REST framework. So Django REST framework is a one framework which is developed. The sites are whatever ORM methods are there, every corresponding method is there here. Django dot rest no sorry Google Django REST framework org. Sorry, this is the site. Django REST framework. What I'm telling, just I'm typing Django REST framework is a powerful and flexible toolkit for building web APIs. That is only I am typing here. It is not my words. Yes or no? That is only REST API. So read this one. Web browsable APIs usability for your developers. This is the open source. These are all the given funding to this one. Requirement REST API, how to install. Sir, initially I don't want to tell how to install these things. Later I will tell. Pip install Django framework, pip install Markdown, Django filters, all these. Because what I'm telling, first starting classes I'm telling without REST, normal APIs. After that I will tell this process, how to install Django framework, all these things. Present not required, first classes initial. Only Python, Django is enough, Atom. Every day writing programs, na same. I created FBVs, CBVs. For that, how to create API, I will show without REST. Once you're getting clarity, then I will tell how to use the same API with REST. Then differences you will get it. What is the advantage of API for my Django application? Check it carefully. We completed one project, sir. Django. Is there a folder? Yes. Yes. Indulo Mahesh jobs is there. PY manage that. Sir, Malli tomorrow once again previous commands. How to create project, how to create app, settings.py, views.py, URLs, story started again. Run server. Check it carefully now. Why API is required for my Django application? Now we will get clarity. Copy. Paste it. Yes, very good. Welcome to Mahesh API. These things all up to now I'm telling now. You know how to give this URL, how to design this page. If I'm clicking on this, you know all the things. This thing you are in a professional. Okay. Now my requirement is, sir, today one new job came in Hyderabad, high-tech city, some job is there. So here, for my students, I have some 500 students are there. My old batches, university, everything. Sir, whenever job came immediately, my requirement is, I want to provide here a small button. What I want to provide it? Here, somewhere else. Something job I am given a button. What is the button means? I want to send this requirement to all my students as a SMS. Every day are you getting SMS from Naresh Shetty or not? Today job, so-and-so class started, my sir class started, Keviro sir class started, HTML started. How you are getting that SMSs? There is some gateway is there or not? SMS gateway, SMS grid like that. I have to buy some SMSs. Suppose I have also some SMS grid is there. Okay, this is the some third-party vendors. This is the one third-party vendor, SMS grid. Here you can buy the SMSs. Each SMS, some guys given 10 paisa. If you given more, each SMS 1 paisa, 2 paisa, 5 paisa, 10 paisa like that. I am buying 1 lakh SMSs. Minimum 1 paisa they will give, 2 paisa. But my requirement is to observe cheyandi. This application is your application, Django application. I want to send one SMS to all my students. Babu, in high-tech city, there are some requirement is there. If you are interested, you can attend. But I want to communicate with this Djang application to which application? SMS grid. But is it different? That is the different. How both communicated? By using API. That's why API is required. So this SMS gateway application can be communicated Django application. One common requirement is there, that is API. That is advantage. Suppose you are not implemented APIs. Just I am telling, without API only Django application is there. What is the use? Without hands and legs, how human being is there? Same only. Your colors, everything nice. Application very nice. Someone wants to payment gateway not there. You want to give this message to students, SMS gateway not there. Tomorrow some person accessing from Android or iOS application, no chance. Only one possibility you are given end user. What it is? That URL you are given. By using URL only end user access. Another chances you are not providing. That's why API is required. And now, so just what I'm telling example, Mahesh jobs to SMS gateway communication. What is required? API is required. Both the applications I want to communicate. Sir, another example I will tell. Sir, totally throughout world, how many people are there? 8 billion, sir. Abbo ante 800 crores. 7 point, sir, 8 anukondi. 8 kasena 8 billion means 800 crores of the people are there throughout world. Now my question is, world population. No, 8,800. Yeah, 800 only, not 8,000. India, China, we beat the China already. Our population 130. 160 on the 300. Remaining world 500. Sorry, 141. 270. అంటే నియర్లీ 300 వేసుకో. సరే సరే 800 ఓన్లీ. సరే 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 ఎజ్యూమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఓకే, నాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్ ఫిగర్. సరే వదిలే. త్రూఅవుట్ వరల్డ్ 800 crores people are there. In all these 800 people, is it possible to communicate each and every person, any person to any person? No chance. Because suppose I am take one China person, you can speak with China person. Not possible. He is speaking as a ching chong ching like that. He is speaking. We don't know. Suppose I can took the one Japanese person. Is it possible to communicate that person? No. We can speak only Telugu people very. Suppose, sir, not only China, Japan, Subba Reddy, Gajanan. If we can speak both the people means no. He don't know Hindi, he don't know Telugu. Not able to communicate. Oh, so one common language there, what it is? One English is there. But some guys, do you know, you go to the North Korea, some people, they don't know proper English. Chinese not able to understand English. For example, I can introduce some technology. Any person can communicate. Then how it will become very easy. So I can communicate what they're implementing. That is I'm telling. So then China person, Japanese, North Korean, Telugu, Telugu to Hindi. So all 800 people can communicate one common thing if it is there. How life will become very simple. Same only. But it is very complicated. Not that much easy task. So that's why one API is required, sir. For example, Sir, I can implemented one Java application by using Linux. Linux la installed. One .NET application is there. I can implement it in Windows. Yeah. Suppose I'm implemented as a Python application in Mac. I can implemented one application, SAP application in Linux. So in my hand, 4 applications are there: Java, .NET, Python, and SAP. So each and everything I want to communicate, how can I communicate it? One programming language not able to give respond to second and all these. So one common thing is required. What it is? API is required. Yes or no? Then by using this API, I can communicate this. By using this API, communicate this. Everything is possible. Sir, but how all these are common language? What it is used means which language? HTTP is a common language to all. But which format they can use? And the data transformation in olden days XML, nowadays very good JSON. Common message format. Communication language HTML. Sir, even me communication language is English. How can send the notes? By using Google Classroom material. Text format, something format I can provide it. That is only. So each and every application can be communicated with API. One common language you're using, that is HTML language. What is the common message format between all these? That is JSON. Sir, XML, some problems will be there. In olden days, everyone using XML. XML is a heavyweight. You can open XML format. JSON is a lightweight. At the time of XML is file type. How HTML is there na? Next advanced version is XML. No, .xml file only. We are converting into dictionary format. All these lengthy process, heavyweight. So if you want to transfer data through XML, heavy bandwidth is required. Whereas JSON format, anyone can able to understand, like dictionary format, objects, lightweight, less bandwidth is required. Easy to understandable by any programming, any human being can understand, machine can understand JSON objects. XML not able to understand. That's when nowadays everyone is using JSON. So now, up to now, whatever I am explaining based on this, now you have to tell what is API. Don't tell abbreviation. API means immediately telling application programming interface. What is the purpose of API? Can be used to access functionality of any application. Just now I'm telling you Samsung mobile phone. It is not Java, Python, but I want to access that application. Keyboard is required. ATM, I want to access. That is API. The application may be standalone or maybe a web application or maybe enterprise application. That is API. Second, what it is? Web API or what is web API? Web service can be used to access functionality of which one? Web. Yes. Web application by using HTTP, that is called as web API or web service. What is REST? It is not API, it is an one architecture. Yes. Which provides several guidelines. Yes. To develop web APIs. That is the REST, sir. Fourth one. RESTful API. What is RESTful API? The web API which implemented in REST principles is called as RESTful API, because by using REST architecture, I am implementing APIs. That is why it is a RESTful API. That's why directly I don't want to start with REST API. Without REST, I'm implementing first APIs. After that, same process I can implement it with REST. So last term, Django REST framework. That is that site. They are given. You can install REST framework and implemented APIs for Django web application. To develop RESTful APIs for which application? Django based applications. Adi story, sir. Now, Amit, are you getting clarity? Toolkit. Do you have vehicle? Any two-wheeler, four-wheeler? Bike. In the bike, toolkit is there. Toolbox, wrench, screwdriver, everything. Same like that here also. So whatever components we require to use that framework, those methods, everything that is called as a toolkit. That is nothing but yes, sir. So the main objective of web APIs is interoperability. What is the meaning of interoperability? And any type of application, any language you can use, any platform, no problem. This API can be provide communication between those type of application. That is called as interoperability. Okay, no. Interoperability. ఏంటిది నేను ఇష్టం వచ్చింది వాడుకో. That is, what is the meaning of operability? Means different applications can be communicate with each other. Etla, irrespective of, just now I'm telling now, whatever developing language, just now I'm giving an example. The language may be Java, language may be .NET, Python, SAP, any language. And what is the platform? No problem. Any platform. Java, Windows, Mac, Linux, Ubuntu, any platform. As whatever platform you're using, I don't bother about. Whatever language you're using, I don't bother about. I can provide communication. That is the main agenda of web APIs. How it is possible means, for all these applications, one common language is there. Yes, for all these, one common message format is there. That message format is JSON, language is HTTP. That's why it is possible. Sir, Adi, basically today completely theoretical part. Tomorrow onwards projects I will start. ఇంకా మొదలు మళ్ళీ how Django project is there, again daily project, you need to practice doubts. అది పెద్ద ప్రోగ్రామ్, ఒక సింపుల్ గా అయ్యేది కదా ప్రోగ్రామ్. ఫస్ట్ ఏం లేదు, సింపుల్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు, sir, first you getting words clarity, then application very simple only. So many guys having doubt outside. You can ask, what is API, what is REST API, what is web API, what is REST, what is this? First we have clarity about these things, then we will go to the applications. Now, Next terminology. How many types of web services are there? Anyone having idea? Yes, very good. What about those? But how are you telling 6? What about those 6? Tell 1 or 2. I'm asking how many types of web services are there? Hmm. Hmm. In interview, they are asking how many types of web services are there. Many servers center. Only there are 2 are there. World Wide Web. www means that is the production URL. Sir, observe carefully. Don't confuse it. There are only in 2 types of web services. What about those? Anyone? What it is? SOAP based web services, RESTful web services. ఈ రెండే ఉన్నాయి. వీటిలోనే నువ్వు చెప్పిన ఏదైనా సరే క్లౌడ్ బేస్డ్ అదా ఇదా ఎనీథింగ్ ఓన్లీ 2 ways are there web services. One is SOAP based, second one is RESTful web based. Yes, very good. Correct. SOAP and REST. Only 2 are there. ఈ RESTful you can implement anywhere, whatever you are telling. Sir, what is SOAP based? Mysore Sandla. SOAP based web services. What is the meaning of SOAP? S means simple. Simple. Sorry. SOAP, spelling mistake. O meant for object. Access protocol. Sir, I want to access one object, one protocol. What is the protocols? HTTP, SMTP, FTP. They're all the protocols. If you came from MCA background, you know about all these protocols. Yes, rules. HTTP ani, HTTPS. S means more secured, advanced one. SMTP, FTP. ఇంకా చాలా ఉంటాయి. Web TP, Web Transfer Protocol. In my subject, it is their protocols. That is Simple Object Access Protocol. So just now I'm telling na, SOAP-based protocols following XML-based format. That's why no one can use this one. XML, just now I'm telling na, so many limitations. It is a heavy weight. Parsing data is takes so much time because dictionary means anyone can able to understand, but XML 90% not able to understand that one. If you want to transfer that data, more bandwidth is required. Parsing data is very difficult. So 90% using RESTful services only, but still some application using the SOAP web services. My guessing Yahoo Mail, Google services are using the SOAP only. Flipkart, Amazon, Yahoo, they are using RESTful services. In SOAP, so many speed ఉంటేమైంది, స్పీడ్ కి దానికి సంబంధం. దే ఆర్ యూజింగ్ డిఫరెంట్. ఆ స్పీడ్ ఎలా అంటే డిపెండ్స్ అపాన్ సర్వర్ కెపాసిటీ బట్టి స్పీడ్ ఉంటుంది ఎప్పుడు కూడా. అది సార్. SOAP is completely XML based protocol for accessing web services. అప్పుడు XML డేటా అవన్నీ కావాలి మనకి. యాహూనో గూగుల్ ఏదో ఉంది మొత్తానికి. కానీ సెక్యూరిటీ వైజ్ కంపేర్ విత్ రెస్ట్ఫుల్, SOAP services are more secured. SOAP only more secured. Less security than RESTful services. Because XML data conversions, hacking not possible, that much not easy. But dictionary means everyone can able to access the data. More secured SOAP services when compared with RESTful service. Amazon, you were asking, only Google is using SOAP. Amazon, Flipkart, Yahoo, they're using RESTful services. Sir, atlaga SOAP, so many problems will be there. 90% everyone using which one? RESTful only. RESTful web services. Gmail, yeah. Google, total Google using SOAP based web services only. REST means already I'm telling now what it is. Full form. Representational. Representational. Yes. One object state we are transferring. TRNS. Each unique URL we can provided is a representation of some object. Object means JSON objects. So every one object, one unique URL we can provide it there. Inside whatever comments, whatever methods I have to apply to the object. First one, get. Next, put. Next, patch. Next, get to put to complete a patch. Delete, post. There all the methods are there. We will discuss Kaiku Kangar. What is the purpose of put command? Update. Patch means? What is the difference between put and patch? I will tell the difference. Both are updation purpose only. Patch means partial updations. Suppose one employee is there, employee have 10 columns. I want to change only salary. Then we go for patch, partial updation. Patch. Put means more columns I am updating. Your address, your number, your name, your mobile, your mail ID, salary. Then I can go to the put. Update ekkada asalu unda akkada. Update command is in Oracle. Ikkada different. Ivanni HTML verbose related to our ORM. Mana ORM levunni create, retrieve, redo, update, delete. Daniki parallel commands ivi in case of our put or overwritten and existing. No, I will give clarity, Amit. So only problem is that RESTful, less security. It provides only one protocol, that is HTTP. SOAP based provided multiple protocols. HTTP, SMTP, FTP, all. So if anybody interview room, they are asking difference between SOAP and REST. What is the difference? What is the difference between SOAP and REST? Where less coding? REST? SOAP is using XML, REST is using JSON. Okay, nice. Less bandwidth. One is more secured, one is less secured. Inka. Google using SOAP. Yahoo using REST calls. Amazon using both SOAP and REST. In SOAP, we cannot do CRUD operations. Maybe we are using, not using, cannot do CRUD operation. Okay, okay. Sir, check it. I will give this one. Just you can read it, you will get clarity. Whatever the differences between SOAP and REST. So maximum already you know some differences. XML based. REST is a architectural style. But what is it, WSDL? Web service, not security. Web service development language, one different language that is a. Four, does not return human readable result. That is I'm telling XML. Dictionary can be understandable by human being and machine both. Sometimes XML format not able to understandable by human being. We have to parsing the data to Python dictionaries. Again, conversion is required. JSON, plain text format, everyone can able to understand. SOAP, heavyweight, REST, lightweight. SOAP provide multiple protocols. REST provide only HTTP. Performance is low, inside high. REST less security, SOAP more security. Bandwidth and to transfer the data, internet bandwidth. That is. But wireless ki wired connection so much is there. Nowadays, we are telling Geo fiber have more bandwidth, easy to transfer the data. RPC, that is one type of methods in SOAP. We are using CRUD operation, HTTP web suppression. In that, there are some methods are there in SOAP. Suppose in REST, whatever methods we are using, okay, na check it. Based on this, they are using some RPC methods. Yeah, note say the. Yes, this is the difference. Next, Chundi, they are using RP methods. Now, whatever HTTP webs are there. First, I'm telling the comments what it is. Get. What is the purpose of get? To get one or more resources. Next one, put. What is the purpose? To create a, sorry, put, sorry. I missed one. What it is? Post, sorry. ఇక్కడ రాయలేదుగా మనం ఏంటి పోస్ట్ ఎందుకు టు క్రియేట్ ఏ న్యూ రిసోర్స్ బాబు డోంట్ టెల్ Django language. Django post get methods are different. Here I want to create one new resource. Put is yes to update a resource. Inkoti patch, partial updates, like just I have to change EMP salary. How many fields you are changing? Only one. Partial updation, then patch. More columns are there. Port, delete. To delete a resource, delete is there. Along with these, there are so many methods are there, but rarely used methods. What it is? Options, head, connect. Possible later on we will say right programming, trace, lock, move. Something is there. Find. Inkala so many are there, but we rarely used. But those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compulsory. Yes, these are HTTP verb, HTTP terminology. These are all. Now, HTTP CRUD operation we can combine relevant methods, whatever. HTTP verbose versus our database CRUD operations. CRUD means for, already you know. C meant for create purpose. Create. For create, what is the method? What is the corresponding method? Post, not get. Second one, R. Retrieve or read. What is the method? Ikkada get method. U meant for update. Ikkada put or patch. Updation purpose. D meant for delete. Here also EV. CRUD operation methods, HTTP methods in the RESTful services. Final terminology is who is the web service provider and who are the web service consumer. Once it is okay, then we will write our projects and everything. Consumer means, am I using any payment gateway services? Are you using payment gateway services? Yes, sir. Application using, you are using which one? Book My Show. Sorry, IRCTC, Book My Show, anything. They are accessing payment gateway service and they can take in. Not you are using payment gateway. Am I using payment gateway directly? No. My application using payment gateway services, it will completed your transaction. Remember, not end user. Ante chunde, simple. The application which is providing web services is called as web service provider. Best example, payment gateways and SMS grid. Jio mobile recharge service provider. Anything, whatever they are providing service is called a service provider. Who is uses that providing, that is called as Jio. So many services are there. Jio recharge provider is there. Data service provider is there. That is, I'm telling, if any person providing some services, whether it is a data or maybe payment or anything, that is called as service provider. Who is service consumer? The application which is consuming web data through web services is called as web service consumer. Jio data provider also. Yes, here Chonde. That is also, you can take anything. Swiggy application is there. Swiggy contact with payment gateway, tracking. So those are service provider is payment gateway. Service consumer is Swiggy. Anything, IRCTC, payment gateway. And just now I'm telling na, Mahesh Jobs, SMS Grid. SMS Grid providing services. Mahesh Jobs using that services. That is. Oh, now. Example, we have to take simple example. Book my show application. Contact with what it is? Payment gateway application to complete our booking. So, sir, end user never uses services. So in this case, what happened? Book my show application, what it will do? Will communicate with, yes, payment gateway application. Same, just now I'm telling Mahesh Jobs communicating with SMS Grid. Yes, sir. That's why here. Hence, payment gateway application. That is also an application or not? Yes. Yes. What it is? Web service provider. And Book My Show is a web service consumer. Suppose you can take Jio application. Jio recharge center is there. So whenever you can recharge your mobile, it will goes to Jio recharge service provider. So atla, who are providing services, those are called as web service providers. Who are using that? We are the service consumers. So this is the basic terminology, sir. Now, what is a REST API, Web API, REST, normal API, Django REST framework. After that, examples I am given. Types of search, only two are there. SOAP based, RESTful based. RESTful commands. Slowly you will get clarity about these commands one by one. CRUD key, HTTP key relation methods. Who is web service provider? Who is the web service consumer? So you no need to install anything because already we have Atom is there. Okay. Applications are there. Everything will be provided. Any idea your wish? Regular. How Django program written? Now tomorrow onwards, I will tell programs same. One Django application I can implement. I can provide one API without REST. How to create our own APIs, I will tell. Already some API implemented. I will show. Py manage.py. Sir, comments, gimmets, everything same only. అంటే నా ప్రాజెక్ట్ నేమ్ ఏంటి వితౌట్ రెస్ట్ అంతే ఏం లేదు ఓకే అది ఎలా ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసి ఐ విల్ షో ఇది వన్ టేక్ ద యుఆర్ఎల్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ ఈజ్ కామన్ దీనిలో ఏమన్నా చూసుకోండి ఎన్ని ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేశాను అడ్మిన్ యూనో ఫస్ట్ ఏపీఐ తర్వాత జేసన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఏపీఐ జేసన్ టూ ఫార్మ్ ఐ విల్ షో ఫస్ట్ మీకు కావాలి ఐ వాంట్ టు గో నార్మల్ ఏపీఐ this is the HTTP response. This is end user Django, only HTTP response. For example, Python application I want to communicate is not able to give the response. That's why what I'm created API JSON. What it is? Dictionary format. It can be understandable by human being. It can be understandable by machine. Machine means application, Java application, Python application, .NET, anything. Suppose same program through Python I want to run. through Python. Check it carefully. Python program means how to do py test.py. Any Python file you can take, run it, get the response. That application is Django application or not? Yes, but I'm running Python. Check it carefully. CD, our Python program, REST API. Without REST kada, without REST. Now, py test.py. What it is? Python file. Ante my Python application contacting to Django. I am getting the data. Came, not came. So I'm using Python, but application is available Django, HTTP response. That I am converted JSON. From JSON to I am reading data from Django application. So what it is? Purely it is a Python application test.py. But I implemented one Django. I am providing connection with the help of API. E concept tomorrow I will tell how I connected. How it is communicating by using the HTTP language. The data format is JSON. Just now I am showing. That's why reading easily. Idi easy. Idi JSON format. If I am going to this one, we are not able to read the data. If it is a HTTP response aithe kanaka, you are not able to run the Python program. Which type of response it is a? HTTP. H1, H2, H3 tags are there. It is not possible to access by using Python. That's why converted to JSON. This format, tomorrow I will tell. How to connect with Python API to Django application. Python ki Django I will give connectivity. These are getting clarity. Thoda. Koncham. Okay. Tomorrow onwards, slowly I will implement APIs. You will get much clarity. Today, first class, na, that's why complete theoretical I am telling. Tomorrow programs I will start daily.